Also ich muss vorher schon sagen, ich habe schon ein bisschen das Spiel angespielt. Deswegen kenne ich den Anfang ein bisschen, aber noch bevor halt der ganz krasse Stuff losgeht. Ich hoffe, der fängt jetzt von vorne an. This sure cell is in my apartment. Ja, nee, irgendwie nicht. Ja, ich werde beobachtet. Cool. Danke, danke, cool. Nichts Spannendes hier. Oh, 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 oh. Can I pick it up? Nein, was ist das überhaupt? Das ist ein verrosteter Tacker? Ja, ich kann da nicht hochgucken. Ich bin zu klein. Ich bin zu klein. Ich bin zu klein. Nicht springen. Warum kann ich nicht springen? J für Jump. Hä? Nee? Und wenn ich fester drücke? Nee. 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 Bewegt sich da was in meiner Kamera? Genau so sehen auch meine Pflanzen aus. Ich wollte mich mehr um die kümmern. Boah. Boah. So einen Teppich habe ich auch. So einen Teppich. Habe ich auch? Ja. Doesn't seem like a very fair fight. Ja, kann man so sagen. Wenn ich jetzt Kunst studiert hätte, dann wüsste ich bestimmt, was das ist. Oh, du bewegst dich mit? Oh mein Gott! Stalker. The handle turns, but I can't open it. Dann tritt es ein. Wo ist das Problem? Tritt es einfach ein. Los. Jetzt tritt. Dreht. Visitors. Schon ein großer Zeitsprung, muss ich schon sagen. Und da haben wir noch ein V. Vendetta. Greetings, visitor. You're more than welcome to sign your name and the date of your visit in this guest book. Once you've done that, we welcome you to explore the library to your heart's content. So long as it isn't after closing. Once you've had your fill, please let yourself out. You'll find a key to the front door on one of the desks in the study. Bin ich hier etwa allein? Ach, das kann ich ausschalten. Wir lassen es an. I can't see a thing. Who knew it could get this dark? Out. Erinnert mich ein bisschen an Silent Hill. Hier, ich glaube, das ist nicht Zweifachglas, ne? Oh, cool. PCs. Erinnert mich an Schule. Doesn't look like it's plugged in. Erinnert mich an Schule. Unresponsive. Yep. Dead. Like me. Das? Überm Bett. A paper. The tick fills up on blood. A pustule pulses on a dead dog's eye. Like these, your head shall burst. Like these, your head shall burst. Okay. Ich möchte ungern, dass mein Kopf explodiert, auch wenn ich jedes Mal kurz davor stehe. Oder für den Moment muss ich die Kamera dann ausmachen. Weil ich kann nicht mit dieser Maske lesen. Wenn ich einatme, dann ist die Maske in meinem Mund. Welcome message. Greetings, visitor. We'd like to take a moment to tell you about our wonderful library. The Library of Ouroboros is a state-of-the-art facility designed to replicate the rural charm found in many other buildings without the associated risks such buildings are known to accumulate. The building might seem like a strange sight amongst Wall Street's many towering skyscrapers, but we believe this dichotomy will be what sets us apart. We're glad that you've decided to give us a chance and hope that our stock of books will appeal to you. Obviously, our collection of information isn't so vast as to encapsulate the whole of the internet. But we hope the charming aesthetic design for our library will help you escape from the hustle and bustle of New York life. If you hear any strange footsteps, don't worry. There may still be construction going on above or below you. From us all, thanks again.
Okay. Ah, fuck, da ist noch eins. Okay.
Welcome message. From all our staff, welcome. We're glad you're here. The library is located in a picturesque part of Britain atop a grassy knoll east of Sussex. Many rural townships, obviously bereft of their own libraries, refer their villagers to the library. It is beloved by all. Peruse our vast stock of fiction, non-fiction, poetry, and everything in between. Chat with friendly librarians and employees, and feel free to spend as long as you'd like reading, using our computers, or just spending time here. We always love new visitors. Should you hear any odd knocking in the corners of the building, pay it no mind. The library is on the older side, and the Foundation plays tricks on some visitors' minds. Don't worry, though, it's perfectly safe. The staff.
Wie oft müssen die eigentlich wiederholen, dass ich mir keine Sorgen um die komischen Sounds machen soll? Vielleicht solltet ihr das noch irgendwie. Last year I remember I was sitting at home reading a letter from an old friend. But it's a stranger thing. Now I can remember what it was about. Mann, du, das ist zu... Cool, Moment, ich war noch am Reden. Jetzt weiß ich nicht mehr, worüber ich geredet habe. Ach so! Ja, erwähnt es bitte noch 4-mal. Weitere 4-mal, damit wir das insgesamt 6-mal haben. Damit ich mir auch ganz, ganz sicher bin, dass... Aha, jetzt siehst du mich nicht, ne? Damit ich mir auch zu 100% sicher bin, dass ich mir keine Sorgen um die komischen Geräusche machen muss. Doesn't look much better than I feel. Ja, sag ich doch, Digga! Mein Handy klingelt. In der Ferne. Broken. Like me up! Vielleicht sollte ich damit aufhören. Ich hoffe nur... Oh hey, this one's not working. Ja, cool. Bist mir ein Witzbold. Einen Clown zum Frühstück gehabt oder was? Ich hoffe halt, der Sound von Game ist laut genug. Und auch nicht zu laut, weil ich bin sehr paranoid. Ah ja, Notebook. Soll er weiter klingeln. Should really clean this place up. Don't lose the trash. Ja, mach ich gleich. This room makes me wish I had someone to vent to. I think I'm cracking under the strain. I had the strangest inclination to walking straight into a wall. There's a secret path in the dark. That can really be illuminating. Doesn't move at all. Feels a little warm to the touch. Cool. The screen looks burnt out. Nothing happens when I press the buttons. Was ist gefallen? Ich bin sehr schreckhaft. Ich hasse Jumpscares. Deswegen spiele ich Horror Games. Und ich bin sehr sensibel, was Sound angeht. Das macht mir teilweise mehr Angst als das, was ich da überhaupt sehe. Okay, das klingelt immer noch im Hintergrund. Ich muss da jetzt rangehen. Okay.
Hello. Welcome to the Library of Ouroboros. We're glad that you've decided to visit our humble institution. Hopefully, you'll find what it is you're looking for. Please be informed that the library is closing. Since most of our staff are currently away, please lock the door on the way out. We hope you've enjoyed your visit.
Machen wir hier mal über Licht an, weil ich... Warte, ich lese erstmal die anderen Sachen. Ah, Moment. Erstmal aufräumen. Weil ich mag nicht, wenn überall Klatter rumliegt. Иди нахуй.
I left something for you by the place where you arrived.
Cool, danke. Picked up forbidden knowledge. Cool. What is this? A book for ants? Oh mein Gott, das habe ich letztes Mal gar nicht gesehen. Wie süß ist das denn?
Ouroboros, a circular symbol, the snake swallowing its tail, a representation of the endless cycle of death and rebirth, of wholeness the infinite, and a certain kind of cloying meaningless. Never put much stock in mysticism, but in this place it's pasted all over the goddamn walls. Thought to avoid that. Last I remember, I was on summer code websites sitting on the farthest end of the internet, past the places that normally dissuade the less curious. Had just a little too much time on my hands. I remember falling asleep. Now I'm here. The recording said that this place is the Library of Ouroboros. Remember reading something about that, but not what or where. If you're reading this, keep an eye out. Something isn't right. Signed, V.
Welcome Message. Wenn du mir jetzt noch einmal sagst, dass ich mir keine Sorgen um die fucking Geräusche machen muss, Digga.
Peace be to you, friend. We're glad you've decided to join us. Despite its name, the library is open to people of all sorts of different faiths, with our vast tracts of religious knowledge, modern, old, and otherwise. We're certain you'll find the peace you seek. We know you've traveled far to arrive here, so please do rest. Keep an open mind, read to your heart's content, and we'll be sure you're well provided for. One matter of note, we ask you not to linger after closing, or to descend too far into the library's bowels. Some of our books are quite old and very sensitive to the ingress of foreign temperatures and moistures. Thank you for understanding. Welcome message. Thanks for visiting the Library of Ouroboros. Thanks for visiting the Library of Ouroboros. Thanks for visiting the Library of Ouroboros. Thanks for coming. You can go now.
Okay, dann let me leave. Ich hab doch einen Schlüssel bekommen. Ja, stimmt. Die Tür. This can't be right.
Hello. We'd like to inform you that the library is now closed. Note that it is unlawful to remain on the premises after closing. This is your one and only warning.
Und aufräumen. Da kann ich wieder lesen. Aber erstmal putzen. Putzen. Ich muss putzen. Lesen? Lesen? Kann ich lesen?
The note is largely obscured by blood, but you can make out only a handful of words. In one of the dustier books fell apart in my hands. There were these arcane scribbles, fields. After I threw it away, still not quite right, like something's watching. The Minister's Doom, Act 3, Scene 2. Bernice enters, followed closely by the librarian. Bernice is breathless, looking both exasperated and slightly excited. The librarian's expression is unreadable, as per usual. "But my husband will find out about us. He won't stay out forever." "I wouldn't be so sure, my dear. But shall we retire to the living room if we're to speak of such unpleasantness as your husband?" Bernice's face breaks suddenly into a grin. She grabs the librarian's hand, taking him onto the couch beside her. "Fine then. If you stay, I want to hear some of those secrets you keep talking about. You can't play me for the fool forever." "I would never claim to do such a thing, my dear. Would you care to hear how I can stop a human heart with but a word?" "Goodness, that sounds dangerous." "It most certainly is." "I wish to hear it." "Then, of course, you shall." He leans close to Bernice, who closes her eyes as if expecting a kiss, but the librarian leans past her, whispering something in her ear. Bernice's eyes open wide. She gives a single jerk, a strangled groan, and goes limp, sliding off the couch. Too curious for her own good. He stands, reaching in one of his pockets to withdraw a single black case containing Bernice's wedding ring. Taking a cursory look around the living room, the librarian eventually focuses on a single point on the opposite side. The librarian crosses the floor, leaves his item, and turns to leave. As he does so, the scene darkens, leaving only a single spotlight to illuminate the stage. It is fixed on the small black case which the librarian has decided to leave sitting atop the minister's writing desk. On the library. Very early into my professionship, a student came to my office one spring afternoon with a stack of papers in her arms. She said she'd been having strange dreams of a place stretching forward and backward into infinity, dreams of hallways splitting into hallways, dreams of being lost in the intricate guts of some gigantic place that could not possibly exist. On the papers were rude sketches. She was no artist, she said, but something about the dreams had left such a vivid impression on her that putting what was in her brain to the page seemed her only option. She was clearly distressed when I gently suggested that she visit the university psychologist rather than the resident ancient history professor. She violently shook her head, asking if I knew anything about something called on Ouroboros Library, or perhaps the Library of Ouroboros. It wasn't entirely clear. I told her the common knowledge about the symbol taken from the Egyptians by the Greeks and from the Greeks by the medieval Europeans. A sign in alchemy of death and rebirth and so forth. The student continued shaking her head all through my explanation until she suddenly cut me off. "Those are too old," she said. "The place from my dream was modern. There was electricity, computers, but everything seemed ancient and stank of old dust and damp wood and something else. Please don't you know, if anything in recent times that might have stemmed from that idea?" I confessed that I hadn't, especially considering the size and the many niches of the modern world. She left without another word, leaving her drawings behind. Something about the conversation shook me. I looked through the crude drawings made in a shaky hand and saw in the familiar shapes and designs an odd air of ominousness, like looking at the facade of a dark building and hearing the slightest scratching of things that shouldn't be just behind the stones. All very juvenile thoughts, and yet when I went home that evening I brought the drawings. I couldn't help but want to look more into what we discussed into that library of Ouroboros. It was largely fruitless. I found many sites and articles on alchemy, the symbol itself, or the public library in Ouroboros County, which was located somewhere in rural Wisconsin. But just as the hour crept past midnight, I found something, the slightest snatch of information at the bottom of a rabbit hole series of links. I will not repeat the website's domain or my steps to arrive there, for fear that someone might try to replicate what I did. But I will repeat what I found, because just as that student couldn't get their ideas from her head without drawing, I found I can't think of anything else waking or sleeping. I hope this will help. The Library of Ouroboros, a kind of waking nightmare wreathed upon by those too curious for their own good. Rich in blank secrets, rich in dark ideas lost to time, rich in languages from dead races on other planets. The fortunate die, the truly lucky or perhaps the most unfortunate of all, become tenders of all time, knowing far more than any living being could ever hope to learn, without becoming a permanent, perpetually screaming stain of the face of space-time forever. None have left it unscratched. There are forbidden tomes that would prevent you from breathing should you merely touch them, and the tenders are beyond sanity and jealousy keep their terrible secrets. You've searched enough. This is your final warning. That night I slept fitfully. My dreams beset my images of a dark, dusty place, eerie for its supposed normalcy. I could almost feel things passing by just beneath the floorboards, within the walls watching me. Every exit led to another room, nearly the same as the one before it, and out of the windows I saw only black. My dreams have been consistently disturbed since that night, so much so that it is hard for me to teach. So heavily preoccupied is my waking mind. I hope this writing will be enough to put my mind at ease. One last thing. I've since tried to find the student who first contacted me, to tell her what I learned. My hopes was that I might be able to put her mind at ease, or at least commiserate with her, but I haven't been able to find her. In fact, since the day she visited my office, her roommates haven't seen her, nor has anyone else, and I fear I might be next.
Hello. Na, come back! Come back! Wo bist du hin? Diggi, wo bist du hin? Ah, Müll. Müll, 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 Müll. Müll, 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 Müll. Mein Gott, wer hat dir den ganzen Müll liegen gelassen? Ich arbeite hier nicht mal. Warum muss ich aufräumen? Verdient fucking Mindestlohn.
A kind slumber. I've been driving for miles and miles and miles. It's night. I'm tired, so tired. Been on the road for what feels like days. Don't like this constant moving. Never have. But it wasn't this bad when I was younger. Could sleep in the car while my parents drove. Now, I don't have anybody to drive me. Two of them got too caught up in some of the darker parts of our world. A black library by our old house. They went in, never came out. They are why I can't sleep. Their book, what I learned without trying as I opened the dusty things sitting disused as I cleaned out what remained of the attic. Didn't even mean to, and yet here we are. There've been no other cars for hours. This dark stretch of road, my truck, all I've known. As I drive along, a halo of red and blue neon forms in my windshield. A station in the dark, a tiny diner. I'm not hungry, I'm not thirsty, just tired. But all the same I take the exit as it comes up, pulling into the parking lot between a beat-up jalopy and a truck that looks a lot like mine. I hardly feel the cold outside, I hardly feel anything. It's like being trapped in somebody else's body and things don't feel like they fit right on my muscle anymore. The diner's just as cold as the outdoors and hardly more inviting. The distressed red pleather of a bunch of boots that should have been trashed years ago, dirty tables, floors, buffed into a mockery of cleanliness. Empty but for a man in a heavy coat in one corner and a waitress in the other. The man is standing, the waitress is also standing. They look like prize figures about to square off, or they would if they were looking at each other. Instead, I can't see the man's face for his collar and hat, and the woman is looking at me. "Seat, sir?" I nod. "Rough weather out," she says, trying to smile as I take my seat. I can tell I look terrible. "Do you know a place where I can get some shut-eye?" I ask almost without realizing it. I can't sleep, but maybe I can still try. "Not a motel for miles. You can sleep at your table if you want, though. You don't even have to order anything." "Thank you." I set my head down on the table and my eyes don't shut. The black knowledge slithers its way from those stained pages and into my brain, and now it grips my eyelid, forcing them wide. The diner is sideways. I'm like this for a few minutes, then there's someone else standing sideways in front of me. That man in the coat. His face is a dark red mass, sleep deprivation. "Tired, buddy?" I nod. The table is cold against my numb face. "I think we can help each other." He reaches toward my face, laying a hand upon my neck. There's a flicker of feeling of warmth that cuts through the fog that swallowed up my head for days. As he withdraws his hand, I see a strip of ragged flesh in it, which he brings to his face. When he lifts his hand again, the flesh is gone. Thanks, buddy. May I take the rest? I nod. The table is cold against my face, and as I finish nodding, he turns my head roughly and grabs at it, pulling away another strip of red. There's feeling. The tiredness becomes more pronounced. He doesn't ask anymore, just takes. Each time his hand comes down, a little part of me leaves. But at that point, I don't much care. Take it all. I like to rest. The table has turned red, like the seats around us. Time passes, feelings gone. Sleep. The man in the coat takes down his collar and I see my face looking down at me, tired. He reaches down into my pocket, fishes out my keys. Rest easy, buddy, he says, and something else that I don't hear. He's gone. It all is.
I can't help but feel as if I stand before fear, the precipice of some terrible reality, left one room only to come right back to it. Shame there is no place to go but straight ahead. I've hidden a few tools in this room in case the path ahead isn't what I hope it is. If they're not here anymore, then good news. The path ahead, at least immediately, is probably safe. Zero chance of any hostile entity. If they're still here though, well, I hope they're useful to you. You're going to need all the help you can get. Ich glaube, das hat 4 Zahlen oder so. Hier 102, glaube ich. This window is locked, but it gives a little when I push on it. Some way to move padlock. Maybe some tools? Ah, die Bilder sind weg. Same chair from earlier, isn't it? Yeah, no shit, bro. Ah, guck mal. Screwdriver. Not plugged in, still sparking. Strange. Lockpick.
We've given you chances. Ample warning. You proceed, we threaten. Continue on your current
Ich kam nicht
path, and they will
raus.
find nothing left of your head. We swear it. For the last and final time, go back from whence you came.
I don't know where I came from. What? Again? I thought I just went outside. Oder hast du nicht gelesen? This room makes me wish I had someone to vent to. Denk mal, das ist zweiter Raum? Obwohl, war der letzte Raum der zweite oder der erste? Weiß ich nicht. Okay, ab hier ist es blind. How the hell is it like if it just came from there? Yeah, I don't know! Oh Gott, ich mag so hohe Decken überhaupt nicht. There's no way I'm in the same library I was in earlier, right? This room's massive. Warte mal, ich glaube, ich hatte eine Taschenlampe. Georgie? Sag mir nicht, die Taschenlampe ist jetzt weg. Ah! Okay, ich versuche mich nicht einzuscheißen. Ah, da bist du wieder! Around the world, around. Ja, Licht lassen wir an. Gibt's irgendwas zum Putzen? Muss ich wieder aufräumen? Dann noch ein... Hi! There's something in the darkness. Ja, Nosferatu.
The Minister's Doom, Act 4, Scene 3. Open atop the roof of the minister's estate. The minister lies against a statue of a lion, pattered with his blood. A saber hilt protrudes from a gaping wound in his chest. The librarian stands over him, triumphant. And so, you finally cease your pathetic thing. The minister spits up blood. Are you here to taunt me, or to end this charade? Go on, go on. You've ruined my life, destroyed all I loved. Sever what remains, damn you! Come now, minister. Is there any need for this melodrama? Kill me! Damn you, kill me! Are you pleading for mercy? I wonder. Or trying to salvage the last of your pride? It doesn't matter. Your reasoning is flawed. What are you? Doubles over, his words lost in a bloody coughing fit. Consider it. Your ties to this world are severed. All earthly connections gone. Had I wanted to kill you, I could simply have stepped into your estate and placed a saber? Yes? Between your shoulder blades. Yet even now, you still breathe. Your wounds non-lethal, or I should say non-lethal enough for our sake. Oh, what the devil are you talking about? Forgive me, minister, but I'm afraid I've misled you. You see, this was never about vengeance. When I met you on your return from City Hall those 3 weeks ago, it was only a few hours after my first visit to the city. What? Then the tale about the library that I put out of business. A very flimsy lie, I'm afraid. Really, I'm quite amazed you didn't see through it. Oh, and since the truth is coming out in the open, it should be said that the odds were insurmountable from the start. You were never just fighting an individual. I knew it! That maid will hang. That maid is dead already. A half-hearted turncoat is of no use to me. Actually, that is exactly the truth that should come out, minister. For you see, there is no such thing as me. Never was. There's only us. The minister is silent, his mouth hanging open in shocked awe. A madman! Wrong, my friend. Neither mad nor a man. Nor are we here, as you so delightfully put it, to sever you. Quite the contrary, in fact, we want you to join us. The librarian steps closer. We are always in need of fresh, strong minds. Your impeccable business sense and your knack for keeping it from ever sullying your spotless, smiling public face has proven that you have exactly that. My God, get back! Your God is dead, or asleep, or else he is somewhere out of hearing, or else he does not listen at all. No, minister, my friend. You cannot choose between him and us. The only choice is to come to us willingly, or for us to take you. The minister's hand darts into his coat past the saber. In a flash, he withdraws a flintlock pistol. I make my own options! The minister fires straight at the librarian's heart, a perfect shot at 0 range. But when the smoke finally clears, the librarian still stands. Casually, he reaches up to brush the pistol shot from his overcoat. Regrettably, it seems you forfeited your right to choose. The scene darkens as the minister gives a strangled, agonized scream. When the light returns, the minister stands alone. It is only him, the saber, and the bloodstained line. Yet comfortable, minister, we'll be spending a lot of time together.
Okay, weiter geht's. Okay, alles gut, alles gut. Der Drucker funktioniert noch. Von den Geräuschen immer näher. Oh no. Ah, okay. Thanks, oh Gott, wenn ich mich jetzt umdrehe und da ist ein Jobscanner. Ah, es sind doch Pflanzen, Digga. Ich dachte kurz, das wäre eine fucking Spinne. Spidey, what the fuck is going on? Hast du nicht mal was dazu zu sagen?
On the failures. What has it that those who pass the librarian's bleak tests are granted knowledge beyond the ken of any other? But you want to know about those who failed. Each fate is as miserable as the next, but very well. Some few are allowed to retain their sentience but lose all mobility. Their spirits are torn from their bodies, with the latter being cast away. The librarian takes these spirits and compresses them. That's right, those tomes you've seen lining this place. Those books you've ignored, many of them were once like you. Poor fools lost in a foreign place. Then there are the husks, shambling bodies that move without direction through the library's infinite halls, searching for heads that have long since been taken from them. Are their souls still there, locked away in some dark forgotten keep? Potentially, but they will search fruitlessly and forever. These fates are equally terrible, forever trapped in place, forever cursed to wander. But there is one worse than both. Especially poignant failures, those that attract the librarian's knowledge but fail in the end are given especially poignant punishment. Some say that in the library's deepest depths the walls shudder and shake and pulsate with life that should have died long ago. And some say that these walls are formed of those promising few who could not prove themselves. Is there any egress from this place in death or otherwise? Perhaps, perhaps not. But I'll certainly never see it.
Look at you, looking at me. Bin ich so interessant? Ich habe so keinen Bock drauf, um die Ecke zu gehen und irgendwas ist. Ah, cool. What is this place? Hell, I don't fucking know. Wenn ich mich jetzt umdrehe, da ist jemand. Ja, ich glaube, ich muss da rein, aber ich gehe wahrscheinlich nicht freiwillig da rein. Mich muss jemand schubsen und ich glaube, deswegen steht jemand hinter mir und wird mich schubsen. Yes, not. That shit's moving. Ich kann mit nichts davon interagieren. Habe ich irgendwas falsch verstanden? Ich kann mit nichts interagieren. Leute, ich weiß nicht, was ihr von mir wollt. Ich würde gerne zu euch kommen, aber das Spiel lässt mich nicht. Ich kann nicht weiter nach vorne laufen. Ach, da geht's noch weiter. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, god damn it. What the hell is going on? Why am I back here? Warum? Du liest doch!
Like a beetle in an antline's trap, you flail your way deeper. It is gratifying to watch you wriggle your way to your doom. We so rarely have new visitors. Perhaps we won't spatter you across these walls. Perhaps we'll allow you to stay. Join the others. It is what you want, is it not?
Ich habe nicht zugehört, sorry. I don't know what this is, but it sure doesn't look safe. Das kannst du doch rüberspringen.
Made it to this room, and I'm not going any further. Got a glimpse of him, bastard that's been talking in my ear. Was wearing a dark cloak, so I couldn't see much more than his figure. Shape of his head wasn't human. Makes sense. Can't stop capitalizing. His name. Psychosomatic? Or did he do something to me? No, I won't be able to stay here forever. No, he's waiting for me just a little beyond the door on the other side of this room. Looks like I've got a date with this crevice. Anything's preferable to what I think he's got in mind for me. If you're reading this, you should probably join me down there. What's ever ahead won't be pretty.
What, friends? Let me jump in. Lass mich rein. Ich brauche Freunde. Ich fühle mich so einsam hier.
Wouldn't even be here had you not been so damn curious. Only thought a letter from a friend and then you woke up here, yeah? Nothing you did. I know better. You've searched for the library at home, actively tried to be ensconced by the pool of black knowledge in forgotten places on the internet, in the dusty cabinets of the world. You were looking for something. We both know why. It was all because of that letter. But it isn't just guilt that moves you, is it? It's that hungry feeling, the desperate wish to know all there is before the grave wraps its gnarled hands around your legs and pulls. Ich kann nicht lesen. Was sind hier für Wörter? Though mine has been lost to the ages, I can sense your heart beating. In fact, everything in and around the library can. Poor stupid bastard. If you recognize what forces you've caught the attention of, I think you'd go the way to one before you did.
Oh, what the fuck? Ist die jetzt alles meaty? It's impossible. I'm sure there was a door there. Bruder! Du fragst dich, wo eine Tür hingegangen ist. Und dass das impossible ist. Guck dich um! I'm a bit scared, not gonna lie. Ich habe Angst, dass Nosferatu mich schnappt. Abstract art? Probably. Looks like the faces of the moon. If there's trash, there should be a trash can. Okay. Hey, motherfucker! Bitch!
He was 16 when he went driving alone for the first time. His family had kept him from the world, he said, and it was more than high time that he went and learned about what was out there. It was less than an hour before he was lost. He hadn't received his license yet, after all, and there were many wide, winding side streets surrounding the small town he called home. It was on a lightless intersection where he met his fate. A pickup hit his sedan without stopping. As his vehicle spun out and rolled into a ditch, the pickup vanished into the night. His head was pulverized by the steering column, turning it to little more than paste.
Es pisst mich gerade wirklich an, dass ich den Müll nicht wegräumen kann, ne?
When adulthood found her, she found herself desiring solitude more and more frequently. Since her youth, her home had sat at the edge of a vast forest, which her family had warned her against exploring. But on the night of her 30th, she went alone to finally explore it. The woods were equal parts dark and foreboding, with thin, sickly antlers creating almost a fence of wood. As she weaved between them, she arrived at a derelict cabin, abandoned for years. Naturally, she entered, her curiosity driving her. They said that the marks found on what remained of her body afterward bore wounds as if made by a bear. Thought few had seen a corpse so thoroughly savaged by an animal. He was only a child, left alone for too long. As children are wont to do, he went off in the high grassy hills above the apartment complex he called home. The tall grass came almost to his chin, tickling his nose when he stepped forward. The freedom normally kept from him was finally his, and it was magical in its way. So deeply enthralled with the hills, the grass, the view of town, was he that he did not think to listen for the rustling of grass. When the snake's fangs sank into his young flesh, they met no resistance. His body was found days later, huddled in a ball.
There's the trash cat! Oh my god! Das.
In her middle age, she had little to do, and so gained a fascination with the old radio in her attic. It was a relic from her childhood, and it had never worked properly. As she waned in the seclusion of her home, a desire to see it working again overtook her. Her curiosity matching her seclusive nature in equal parts, she plumbed knowledge in the dark recesses of her attic, building capacitors and vacuum tubes, twisting metal and wires. In the end, the radio sang. It was more than a radio should have been. Flames spouted from speakers, from wires, from the shattered glass tubes. The fire ate up everything it touched. She was reduced to a blackened skeleton. He was old as sin, perhaps older, and had lived alone for a long time. Over his many years he had accumulated much wealth, knowledge, fond memories, but nothing to stop the onset of time. As he walked in the dark hills of his mansion, as he paced in the dark, as he worried away his time in his study, time continued along, tearing at his flesh, bending his brittle bones. The hands of the clock peeled his organs away from his body, one by one, until his waning strength finally failed him. He was found slumped in this chair, surrounded by books bearing unidentifiable sigils. In the end, even they had not saved him.
Ah, cool, ein schwarzes Loch. Anyways. 2, 3, 4. Ey! Schau, bля! Geh rein! Was ist dein Problem? Oh mein fucking Gott. Ja, wahrscheinlich muss ich halt die Folge herausfinden. Also. Zuerst wäre Snake. Kann ich die bewegen? Okay, Snake. Car. Bear. Fire. Clock. What am I supposed to do? Contains a lump of blackened flesh. Mmm. Yummy. Ach nee, da war doch noch ein anderer Weg und ich hab den Müll nicht weg. Oh, ich bin pissed. Da war noch ein anderer Weg.
You piqued our curiosity. We read your book, discovered that for a mortal, you're rather unique.
I don't wanna be unique.
The same way that a human might consider a primate, you almost remind us of ourselves. Though, of course, we'd never stoop to your level.
Dark comes crushing down. It swallows you whole, swallows you whole. Oh god, the lights go dim one.
Get out! Get out! Can't you find your way out?
No, I fucking can't. I need help. Please. Du bist ziemlich scheiße im Erklären. Weißt du das eigentlich? Warum bin ich in einer Vagina, die Endometriose hat? Und warum war Ding, hat's ein bisschen... Hat ein bisschen gebackt, ne? Aber machen wir mal... Lassen wir mal an, ist okay. Hi. Willst du mich nicht graben? Willst du nicht Händchen halten? Oh mein Gott, ich bin in der Hand. Oh mein Gott. Hi. Sieht nicht wirklich wie eine Bibliothek aus. Oh, thank God, I'm finally back where I entered. Time to get the hell out of here. Ich dachte kurz, das wäre aus Fleisch gemacht. Kann ich was lesen? Kann ich gar nichts mehr lesen. Kann ich mal... Ah. Asozial. Oh mein Gott. Wenn der Drucker jetzt nicht... Ja, ich glaube, ich bin in der Realität, der Drucker funktioniert nicht. So ist weg. Ach, das kann ich bewegen. I need to find the right key. Are you fucking kidding me? Let me up! Wie soll ich den Schlüssel finden, wenn ich hier auch mit nichts mehr interacten kann? Wow! God damn it! Ja! Fuck! Sag ich doch.
Oh, good. You're finally here. Certainly kept the suspense going. Stay right there. We shall be with you shortly, and once we're there, we'll turn your form into something more palatable. More arms with
Ich habe nicht gedacht, dass ich runterfallen kann. Jetzt habe ich die Gegend überhaupt nicht erkundet. Cool.
Stay right there.
Ich habe mich schon bewegt. Sorry. Nee. Ich habe ADHS. Ich kann nicht einfach stehen bleiben. If this place were a mind, it would not be pure. The answer to the path ahead is embedded in a column of red flesh. I got the key. Got the key. I got the key. Ein bisschen Schauspiel. Okay. Oh, die gucken mich gar nicht an. Mich nicht. Guckst du... Ihr beide guckt mich nicht an. Warum guckt ihr mich beide nicht mehr an? Fuck yeah. Ist okay. We're in a dirty mind. There will be dirty hands. If this place were a mind, it would not be pure. It seems pure, but there are cracks, memories of others, misdeeds of evil committed. There are recurring themes in each memory. And one that is alone, the numbers will open your path back. Ich kann aber kein Mathe. Oh, hier habe ich noch keinen. Beckner? Hast du eine Ahnung, welche Zahlenkombination ich brauche? Das ist auf jeden Fall 1. Das könnte 3 sein. Das sind 4. Ich dachte halt das Pferdchen alleine. 3, 4, 8. Versuchen wir 8, 4, 3, 1.
You little shit. Like you hadn't done enough already. Now I'm trapped here, damned to repeat this shit like I'm a goddamn tape recorder. If you had an ounce of remorse, you'd dash your brains out on the nearest wall. He was never as much good at forming connections with people, and this time wasn't any different. That woman who'd walk into his life spent a night and a half with him and recognized him for what he was, an empty, half-formed piece of sentient scum. Naturally, he took eons more from their brief tryst than she ever intended. Spent days upon days picking their every second together apart, thinking about what he could have done differently. Not once did he even consider that he should have known in the first place, that there just wasn't anything to him. He wasn't person enough for himself, let alone another.
So, diesmal falle ich aber nicht erst in ein Loch. Ich glaube, ich muss in diese Löcher fallen. Ich komme sonst nicht weiter. Okay, da ist der Weg. Gibt es hier irgendwas noch Spannendes zu sehen? Irgendwie ein Buch zu lesen? Irgendwas mehr zu der Story? Weird, aber ich judge nicht. Ich glaube, es ist so ziemlich egal, wo ich reinfalle. Hauptsache, ich falle. Ja, oder auch nicht. Gut, dann machen wir mit dem weiter. Oder lande ich wieder da, wo ich vorher war? Nee, das sieht ein bisschen anders aus. Ah, eine Treppe. Yippie! Ah, looks like something goes here. Das habe ich. Ah, okay, da muss ich wohl wieder zurückgehen. Klar.
Well, isn't this place a wreck? If I lived some places as disorganized as here, I think it'd just be a matter of time before I was swallowed up by all the trash. I like the staircases, though. They're a nice touch. You're probably wondering what needs to be done here. I think deep down you already know. Since you're so inclined to play dumb, though, I'll give you a hint. It'd be a lot easier to get around here if you could organize everything somehow.
Muss ich dann wieder durch die Tür da und dann I guess gucken, dass ich irgendwie in ein anderes Loch falle. Ich glaube, ich habe einfach schon das letzte Loch aus Versehen ausgesucht. Ah! Lecker. The first! The second... Oh, muss ich... First, the second... Hi.
Yeah, you little bastard. This is what things look like. Here, anyway. I've spent a lot of time in this hellhole, and I'd be willing to bet if you dug up the floorboards anywhere, this is what you'd find. Eyes, pulsating flesh, red guts, blood. That's what I think. I think this is all there is. A place like this, without seas, couldn't exist on its own. An empty nothingness. No, if it's going to make up all the space, if it's going to contain so much knowledge, is it so far-fetched that something might have changed in its makeup? That it might have come alive? Get it? I can see you already have your own beliefs. Well, maybe you're right, maybe I'm wrong, it doesn't goddamn matter. This room is a trap, must be. Those tables with the notes weren't here until earlier. I can't say when, but I think they came for you. Serves you right, I know you're kind. But if it'll help you get the hell out of my room, well, it's a test too, Christ. I can still see your slack-jawed expression. Fine, I will give you not one, but 2 whole hints. Even a damn fool like you should be able to use them. First, the librarian would like to give you a hand. The flash in that safe does not operate like its predecessor.
Okay, dann lasse ich mich erstmal von der Lady grabben. Hello, Lady. Ich kann mich nicht grabben lassen. Da ist mal eine Giant Woman und die kann mich nicht grabben. Leg die erstmal in der richtigen Reihenfolge rein und gucken, was passiert. Ja, okay.
Of his 5 fingers he lost 2, only 3 remained. Without the first he would have been an animal, without the second he could no longer condemn, and without his final remaining finger his hand would look a little strange.
Schätze mal, so sind die Hände. Aber von wo fängt wer an zu zählen? Ist das dann 1? Weil dann wäre 2, 4, 5. Okay. Keine Ahnung.
I know more than the others, but I won't tell you. He spent too much time alone, thinking, and that accelerated his downfall. Terrible thing befell that woman he claimed to have loved. It consumed him, consumed his every waking moment, whether or not he had been loved back. The depression lost him his job and his home, turning a sad wreck of a human being into a sadder, hollower thing. His focus, his obsession, never strayed. He was gone from his life, and as far as he was concerned, that was all that mattered. Even when a family member took him in and sheltered him, he all but ignored them, so enwrapped with himself was he.
Bin ich nicht von hier gekommen? Ah, okay. Ein bisschen nervig, wenn ich dann wieder ins falsche Loch falle. Nicht mehr zurück. Das meinte ich. Da, hier? Ah, okay, das ist ein neuer Raum. Grabby, grab, grab. Hey! Unsichtbare Wand. Everything is fine. Let me go to their hands. Let me touch them.
Stop thinking.
Ja, nee, nicht möglich. Was sagt das Buch?
Don't listen to them if you can help it. You and me, we're birds of a feather. I can tell. Better to pull the covers over your head and cover your ears, in case you hear something you don't wanna. Sit down and let the inevitable wash over you. I take this fate to turning into one of those husks. Brr, gives me shivers. But if you're really hell-bent on rappelling into the lion's gullet, and don't say I didn't warn you, I guess you need all the help you can get. Here's what I have to say. Listen carefully.
Erst 3.
Stop thinking.
Play dumb all you like. The librarian already knows your body, inside and out. He spent all of his time searching and eventually he found his goal. There are places, even in the digital world, where things not meant for mortal eyes lurk. He caught only the slightest glimpse of one such place and it was enough. The eyes of the librarian were upon him. From that point forward, what happened was destined to happen. And worst of all, he would never find the knowledge he sought. Maybe it's better that way.
Okay.
I knew you'd come. Very well, I'll speak. He was always inclined towards solitude. Not that he had any choice in the matter. In fact, if he had, perhaps solitude would not have been his slot. But he was terrible with words, worse with speaking. It wasn't so much a matter of laughter at his expense. It was merely a curiosity, an ingrown, strange thing, vaguely uncomfortable, but otherwise without note. There was one exception to this lonely existence. As he aged, he found himself in the position of an archivist, surrounded only by dust, dead things, dead words. Though he had grown used to the solitude, he hated it with a burning, quiet passion. Thus, when a graduate student about his age came to plumb the dry and dead things, he forced himself to strike up conversation with her. To his delight, she returned his words, and for the first time in ages, he felt his heart beat a little faster.
Back to the... Und wieder zurück. Ich liebe lange, dunkle Gänge. Stay away from me. Ah! Ach, ne! Was zum Teufel? Ah, die Pflanze ist wieder da. Spidey ist wieder da. Hi, Spidey. Aber wir öffnen einfach mal alles. Nicht? Mal alles abchecken. Vielleicht gibt es ja irgendwann mal hier was Wichtiges in den Dingern dran. Aber ich glaube nicht. Ach, wunderschöner Tag.
He was aware enough to be jealous. Though she rebuked his advances, though she suggested the two of them never see each other again, it was, of course, not enough for him. He would come by daily, nightly. When she locked the door, he would continue to bang on it. When she called the police, he still found ways to watch from afar. Weirdo. Until one night, that is, when he watched an unknown foreign shape enter her abode. Though he could only barely make the silhouette out, he could tell it was a man. And that was enough to send him into a rage. The authorities arrived too late on scene to save anyone. Though the fire was contained, the victims died of smoke inhalation. Somehow, they hadn't been able to open the front door. The screwdriver keeping it jammed was no longer at the scene of the crime, of course. When I next opened my eyes, I found myself on an empty road in a desolate place. There was a faint ephemeral quality to everything. It didn't fill me with confidence. In the back of my head, I felt a tough burn, like a fallen ember from the end of a cigarette. Was I free, or was I still trapped within the library's vast expanse? And how could I tell, even if I arrived home and everything was as it had been? How could I know if the librarian's voice wouldn't be just on the other side of every door, of every window, forever? I guess it doesn't matter either way. At the end of everything, I never found what I'd come to the library to gain. For the rest of my life, I think, I'll find myself wondering just what it was that I missed. Perhaps the failure was a blessing, empty as I found myself left. Perhaps there was something even worse waiting for me, if I'd only looked a little deeper. But I doubt it.
Mehrere Endings. God damn it!